In this video, I'm going to go over 87-61 as well as lesson 88. Keep in mind that for best results, you should complete 87-60 as many times as necessary until you have 0 errors before starting this assignment. And that's because 87-61 continues on from that previous assignment. And so if you have any errors left over from the 87-60 assignment, it's going to carry on to this assignment and your grade might be even lower. So just keep that in mind. So when you open up the 87-61, your 87-60 file is going to appear, and it's really important that you do click this Start from Previous Exercise when you start your start file. As for the instructions, in the document processing section on page 354, it does say that when you type the remaining report pages for 87 through 89 to do this. So you're going to type all your lists, tables, and paragraphs and footnotes in your standard format. And then only afterwards will you be applying the styles. Okay, so if we take a look at this, here we have a side heading. We have a numbered list. There's also a footnote in there. We do have a table. A second table, notice that we also have paragraph headings. And that looks like that was it for lesson 87. So keep in mind that we are continuing from our previous lesson and we're just adding on to the report. And so I've already opened my 87-60 from the GDP site. Make sure, again, you click from the Start from Previous Exercise. I'm going to enlarge this just so it's easier to see. Because I'm continuing with this previous report, I'm just going to press Enter one time after this paragraph, and then I'm going to type in the first side heading. Remember, we're only going to format this after, so it's just going to be plain in all caps. I'll press Enter once, and then I'm going to go ahead and start typing my paragraphs. So I'm at the end of the document. Let's take a look at everything that I typed out. Okay, so I typed everything unformatted first, and then only after I had typed everything did I apply the heading to style to instructional approach and seminar content. Also, don't forget that for bulleted and numbered lists, you should have one blank line before and after your numbered or bulleted list. So I have this blank line here, as well as this one here before I started the new paragraph. The same thing is true for my tables. So we've learned how to insert tables in documents a few weeks ago or several weeks ago already. Don't forget that when you have a table within a document, just like your bulleted lists and numbered lists, you should have a blank line in front of as well as at the end of your table. Don't worry that the table 1 and this company name part got cut off from the rest. That's completely fine. Make sure that you also review the previous weeks. I believe it was week 3 or 4 where I talked about how to properly format a table. You can also refer back to your reference manual section on how to properly format your table title as well as the subtitle here. Recall that the title, in this case, Table 1, Largest International Companies, that title always needs to be in 14-point bold and centered. Your subtitle is bolded and in 12-point font. You also press enter one time after your subtitle. Your column headings should be bolded and centered. Don't forget also on your layout tab, they should be bottom center aligned. Be very careful about your alignment here. Make sure that it matches the e-text. So these were left aligned and the numbers were right aligned. Also, if needed, you would use your auto fit and auto fit to contents for your tables. Table 2 would be formatted similarly with that blank line above and below the table. Your table title is in 14-point bold with one enter after that. Instructional topic and time should be bolded, bottom aligned, and centered. As for the body positions or your instructional topics and times, all of those should just be left aligned. Paragraph headings should be bolded along with the period following them. As for the indented paragraph, so for your indented paragraph, if you had originally typed it and it was left aligned, all you need to do is to select the paragraph, go up to your paragraph group and click on the paragraph settings dialog box launcher. In the indentation section, change left from 0 to 0.5 and then OK. And that's going to indent that entire paragraph for you. And so this is what your completed 87-61 should look like. Make sure that you proofread carefully. If after your first submission you still have errors, make sure to correct all of them before moving on to the Lesson 88 assignment, because any of those errors that you have on this 87-61 or 87-60 even might have carried over into your new assignment. So be very careful about proofreading and make any necessary corrections. So now let's take a look at Lesson 80. I've already forgotten which one. Lesson 88. Okay, so here we're going to insert clip art. Make sure that you do review Lesson 88 in the Word manual just to practice inserting clip art. Again, we are just continuing off when we open up the assignment in GDP. Notice that we have a few paragraph headings here. We also have another indented quote here. And then we also have a few more paragraphs. So let's open up our GDP and continue on with it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my 88-62. I'll click Start from Previous Exercise. This is going to open up my properly formatted document. I'm also going to zoom in so we just see one page at a time. I'll go ahead and press enter twice. That's just because we press enter twice between paragraphs, and I'll start typing out these paragraphs with the side headings. So I've typed a few paragraphs down to the paragraph that starts with although. And it's really important that you follow the instructions stated also in the left margin. So it says to insert clip art related to communication, similar to this example here. We're then going to resize it to 1 inch. We're also going to set the wrap style to square, align it with the right margin. That's even with the first line of the language paragraph. So what I'm going to do is to just click first in front of the word language. I'll go up to my Insert tab, and then I'm going to go to Pictures, and then I'm just going to use stock images for this. And then I'll go ahead and type in the word communication. Okay, and try to find one that does have people. I'm just going to choose this one here. I'll select Insert. And then with the picture selected, up in your size group on your Picture Format tab, make sure to change the width to 1 inch. Okay, it also said to set your wrap style to square. So in your Arrange group, you're going to click on Wrap Text, select Square. And if we take a look back in the instructions here, it says to align the clip art at the right margin, even with the first line of the language paragraph. And so basically what that means is that we want to make sure that the top of this image, so this top line, is aligned with this line here, but it also needs to be right aligned down here. So what I'm going to do is to just drag it slowly so that it is aligned to the right. Notice that the far right alignment, this vertical line, is nicely aligned with the 6.5 inch mark here. Now that I've inserted my picture, I can go ahead and continue typing. Remember that I do have an indented quote here, so after I type this paragraph out, I will need to adjust the indentation. Okay, and so as you can see, I do have that blank line above and below the quote. I had gone over adjusting the indentation previously, so I'm not going to show you that again. Also make sure to review the Word manual. You'll also notice that my paragraph headings are properly formatted, being bolded along with the period following them. And then don't forget that your instructions in your e-text also tell you to insert clip art related to shaking hands, similar to the above example. And then it says to make sure that it's going to be even with the first line in the male and female roles paragraph. It's going to be 1 inch in width. The wrap style is going to be set to square. And so let's go ahead and insert that. Okay, so I'm just clicking in front of male and female roles for now. I'll go to Insert, Pictures, Stock Images, and I'll type in shaking hands. That didn't come up, so I'll try handshaking. Looks like hands worked instead of handshaking, so let's see if I can find something similar. So I can choose this image here. I'll go ahead and click on this, Insert. Make sure that you adjust the width to 1 inch. We need to adjust the wrap text to square. And then I'm slowly going to drag it over to the right so that it is aligned with the right margin here, as well as the top of the male and female roles lines. So right about here looks good. Once you're done with this, make sure that you do proofread carefully. Make sure that you don't have any extra enters or spaces, and then you can submit it into GDP. So I saved it. Again, make sure that you verify just with this video. Slowly pause it and make sure that your formatting matches mine here. We'll go back to your GDP window, upload the file that you saved and worked on, and then submit work. And hopefully, if you've proofread carefully and you made sure that you didn't have any errors when you continued on from 87-60 and 86-60, that you didn't have any errors. Okay, and in the next video, I'll be going over lessons 89 and 90.